doubleheader kickball game tomorrow. I think our second game is at 8:30, and I just know that I probably wouldn't get back and settled in until about 9:30. Showered, get all this shit set up until 10 o'clock. And you know how we roll. Probably chit chat for an hour and a half. Then I got to edit it, and then I'm drinking the entire time. And I get up and I feel like dirt on Friday, and blah 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 blah. So we're giving you folks the Middle Classholes a day early. Better than holding on for 2 weeks, right? Because then we come back. Sometimes I found that when we take a week off, we come back all charged up, all fired up, ready to shot out of a cannon into a pool of hot dogs.
All juiced up. Naturally. Do people get shot out of cannons into anything other than pools of hot dogs?
The World Series is going on right now. And it's like a seventh of the capacity of the seating. I think this would be a good opportunity to try some alternative entertainment method,
Like at M&T?
No, at the World Series. What?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Where is it at? It's that new Texas ballpark too, right?
Yeah, Globe Life. It's beautiful too.
Yeah.
Why don't Major League Baseball parks do anything halfway as cool as minor league baseball? It seems like minor league baseball actually kind of hangs its hat on everything but the baseball, whereas Major League Baseball hangs their hat on everything that is baseball. And, it's hard to take a kid to a baseball game and keep them entertained for 3+ hours. You go to a minor league game, you got some asshole college student that's just trying to work his way through, a healthcare program without falling off the top of a fucking dugout. Yeah, and shooting guns at people. It's awesome. And then you go to a Major League Baseball game, and it's like you actually have to know the craft of the game, which is probably why only people 60+ and folks in Baltimore give a shit about the game anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I've already said I'm going to fucking be the guy that keeps score. One day I'm just going to go there. I'm going to go to 82 games, and I'm going to keep score for every single one of them. And then I'm going to be like, why did I do that? That was stupid. That was a big fucking waste of time.
I just feel like you're going to die of a heart attack, a sad old man trying to mark off like a double play.
Yeah.
Hey, keel over.
Was that the third baseman or the shortstop? Ow!
They come find me just sitting in my seat, slumped over.
Was that a 6'4" or 5'4"? Huh?
I don't know. It's a 9-1-1 9. Please.
Or you say you'll be able to keep score for 82 games. When you're old, you better quit drinking because you might get tailing off towards the 7th or 8th inning.
Yeah. You know what? This is probably not a good plan because I used to coach Little League and I had to keep score and sometimes I wasn't paying attention. So,
they don't keep score anymore any which way.
Nah, they were like 12. They kept score. I would always fuck it up. Be like, I had to get my brother, who's the other coach, be like, "Yo, what just happened? Did we get someone out? Okay, cool. Here you go."
Well, not to derail the conversation,
but yes,
but I do have a legitimate question. It might be a little serious in nature, and Alan, I apologize in advance because I know you and I tend to get a little testy towards each other when these things come up. This might be something we need to get my cousin Adam on for to answer this question in its finality. But I was talking to my kid today, and we were going back and forth, and I was like, you keep it up, I'm going to take you down to Chinatown. Now, keep in mind, he's 6. So he said, no, you can't take me down to Chinatown. I said, oh, yeah? Why is that? He said, because if you take me to Chinatown, I'll get lost, and I won't know how to find my way home, and I'll have to get a new owner. So my question to you guys is,
we made USAA insurance for veterans like Martin.
I was like, did we get sponsored by USAA?
I wish. Can USAA protect my child from ownership? Do I own my child? That's the question I have for you guys. Do parents own their children? I tried to explain to him, like, well, actually, people don't own other people anymore, buddy. And then I was like, wait a second. Maybe I do own you. Let me get back to you. That's actually exactly what I said to him. And then I wanted to bring this to you guys. Do parents own their children?
I mean, no, I guess as a general answer. But in my personal opinion, yes, up to like a certain age. Like, how old your kid? Like 5, right?
He just turned 6.
Yeah, so you own that. You own him.
Okay.
Right.
Wes?
So, yeah, is it, do I own my child like I own my home or my car or this shirt that I bought? No. Now,
it's not for resale.
But is the child a dependent of yours and you get tax breaks And do you fill that type of information out? Yes. This is the question I would pose to your child. Okay. You could say, all right, yes, I do not own you, which in case you have free reign to go anywhere else you want to go, they'll stay put. And I know because that happened to me once.
Okay. Well, that's just you're just using pure fear, but because that's not true.
Alan Fox wasn't nearly as diplomatic as I just was. So.
Oh, sure. But see, then if I allow him to go somewhere else, I'm going to be the one that gets in trouble. That's the thing. He pays for nothing. I give him everything. I'm forced by law to shelter him, keep him safe, keep him fed, keep him in school. He offers nothing to the family dynamic besides existing. And when it comes to my home, the home doesn't pay me back for anything. I give everything I have to the home. The home does provide me shelter, though. It does give me something. Of course, my child gives me love and purpose and all of these fun little things. But as far as the ownership portion goes, I feel like all of my personal possessions actually provide more of a service to me directly than my own child right now. Now, maybe in the future, there will be a benefits package attached to his success. But currently, there's none of that. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Zilch. So I still pose the question, do I own that human being? I know we don't like to say the word own because it implies, a little sensitive subject that America's been a part of for 250 some years. But you get my point.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. It's a dilemma. And it seems to be something that's really eking away at your insides based upon this conversation that you had, that you started, by the way. Okay, there's a lot of different fronts on this. I don't know where the hell you get off telling your kid, if you had just watched some fucking Kurt Russell movie, tell him you're going to take him down to Chinatown. I don't know. Just stop saying that shit in general. It's like, come on, it's like, he doesn't even know what the hell that means. He doesn't know that the Chinatown could mean nothing to him. But
it's like, do you live in Cecil County still? There isn't even a Chinatown. Like, how would he understand that?
Yeah,
that concept.
Does he think there's a Panda Express in some strip mall in Northeast or something like that? Perhaps. But second of all, I don't disagree. Do you own him? I think for all intensive purposes. I know, Alan. I said it sarcastically.
I know, but it still makes me shake my head.
It's a would-be boss wrote that in the email one time. I was like, "Ooh, man, boss." For all intents and purposes, I think you own your child, you and your wife.
Okay. And if I was to try to find a new owner for my child, it feels like Chinatown would probably be the place to take him.
I mean, it's just I feel like it's a lot like you own him like a pet for right now. Like, you can't sell him per se. I mean, you could sell pets, but it's a dicey game. You can put him up for adoption. That's probably your best play. That's your best play. You know what I mean? You can have him do stuff for you. Technically you could withhold stuff for said actions if you really wanted to be a dick. I mean, ownership. Sans the ownership term sounds good to me. You just don't. Yeah. You just don't got to tell people that.
I think I have even more weight in the fact that I can't just give him away. Like, that implies even more ownership. Like, I have to create a whole string of paperwork just to get rid of him if I want to. I got to go down to an agency. I've got to fill out like reasonings why I no longer want to have contact with this human. It just seems like so much effort, and you don't put that much effort through things that you just whimsically have in a symbiotic relationship with.
Yeah. Not only that, like social stigma, like. Like, people know you have this child, and you're just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I gave him up, got rid of him, couldn't fucking deal with it anymore." People are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
There's a lot of backstory that's involved with making that plausible to family, friends, and loved ones. And Christ, is Maria? I mean, is she gonna go along with this?
How's
wifey gonna handle it?
Yeah, that's not gonna work out right now. No, I mean, okay, I think it goes without saying, or maybe it doesn't. I don't want to sell my child. Okay, I'm just saying. I do want to create, I think boundaries, having nice hard lines around things is a good thing to start with. So do I own my child? I'd like to know that fact up front. I do want to get a legal expert on to explain that. I know we have other legal questions we need answered. I just want to make sure that I lump that in. And for all the rest of the folks out there listening that maybe have young children, I don't know. I want to make them aware that they are in charge. And I feel like if you own something, you're in charge of that thing. And it kind of gives you more power at the end of the day. And everybody wants power over another human. That's just human nature.
We should have like a quarterly legal jamboree, and get we can get Dave on, we can get fucking Calvert on. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, this is a shameless plug for a new segment, a new bit that we're concocting, folks.
Yeah. So stand by. Legal jamboree coming your way.
Yeah.
We just ask all the legal questions that come up in all of our episodes.
Yeah. Asking for a friend, but
asking for a friend.
That's the name right there.
Oh man,
asking for a friend.
You're
okay?
welcome, America. You just heard us, brainchild.
Yeah, and I think first one, like, hey, if I take my kid to Chinatown and drop him off,
what's the thing there? What's the legality behind that?
Because if I own him and I abandon my car somewhere, that's the thing. I don't even think you can abandon your car. I think if you abandon your car, you probably have to go down to the DMV, the MVA, whatever, and fill out some sort of paperwork to say like I relinquish all ties to this possession.
Yeah, ultimately you would, because they would suspend your license, I think.
No, you can put your pink slip in front. I think there's ways around that.
Yeah, but don't you have to return the tags?
See, there's still a caveat that I am responsible for.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. No matter what you fucking drive your car off a cliff, you better go get them motherfucking tags.
So I think someone explained this to me, and I think it was our fraternity brother Powers, where he said, you remove the tags, you put sold as 0, sign here, and it's yours. And if it doesn't, within a couple days, it's towed. Then a junkyard takes it. Now, that's if you want nothing for the vehicle, which is presumably in this case you don't. But I think there's ways you can do it.
Okay. Wonder how much a kid's going for these days.
Yeah. Hey, and I tell you, if you took him and dropped him off, and not left him, but dropped him off in Chinatown, New York with, $60 or $70, man, he would eat well. In Chinatown, New York, that place, holy hell. I thought that was overblown, and I went to a few places with Yanko about, 10 or 12 years ago. Good God, the dumplings at that place.
So many dumplings.
Now, do you ever get afraid when you do stuff like that you're going to come down with some debilitating parasite?
I don't know. What?
No.
Chinatown, New York?
It's just,
okay. Don't scrunch your brow up and be like, Chinatown, New York.
I don't know.
Anywhere's dirty.
I feel safer there than the Panda Express in Northeast.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. Because I've always wanted to travel the world, but every time I hear these actors talk about location shoots where they went and they tried the local cuisine, if there's 4 actors on a set, usually one of them is just firing fluids out of 2 ends of their body. And so I always worry about that. But with that said, I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay's TV shows because he's got – I need to do this. I need to go to IMDb one day and see how many active television shows Gordon Ramsay is on, because he's got one where he goes all over the world and he lives with the tribes people or whomever the villagers, and he learns how to cook their cuisine, and they're cooking in a skull from a warrior that their ancient grandfather killed in the 15th century, and they're boiling wasp larvae inside there to create a chutney that he wants to take back to his 5-star Michelin restaurant in Britain. And he's always this is the most authentic, delicious, greatest tasting food that I've ever had in my entire life. And these people haven't washed their hands since they were birthed out of the canal, and he doesn't seem to get sick. And I always wonder, is he getting juiced up with every anti-venom that there is known to man? Or are these people, or are we just overblowing how unclean things are?
I think we overblow how unclean things are, especially cooked things. I think that's always confused me when people are like, oh, I don't know, how am I going to eat that? Is it fucking cooked? Was it cooked to temperature? Then you're probably fine. If you get sick from it, you've got a sensitive inside, and that's a personal problem. That's maybe not to eat hot peppers because it makes your ass fucking bleed. Then don't do it. That's a personal problem. Hot peppers don't make my ass bleed, so I eat peppers. You get what I'm saying? I think it's way overblown, especially things like Chinatown.
Well, I think the other thing too is the FDA and state health organizations or state health regulators usually set those parameters that nobody gets sick. So that's why when you have the born on date and born on dating or use by dates, those are for the most part typically way overblown. Now, if something is rotting in your fridge, you'll fucking know it. You can smell it. it has a very pungent stank to it. But for the most part, those are a cover your ass so people don't get sued and people don't get sick in a restaurant. For the most part, it's regulated to a point of redundancy that is super maxed out. So nobody gets sick. I think Gordon feels relatively safe, and he's probably snorting some zinc and B12 during shots and gets his immunity boosted. But I don't know, man. Christ, I think he's a cuisinist, a cuisinist at heart, man. He's
just add a French accent to a word that doesn't exist.
Gourmand.
That'll work.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a cuisinist.
No, but I mean, how many chefs do you know that don't fucking eat everything? Like,
they eat everything they cook. I don't know if they eat everything like this guy does. I watched Gordon Ramsay eat a cream-based dish that was made on the streets of India on the top of a trash can lid. And I was like, wow.
It was probably some chicken. It was probably some chicken korma, and it was probably fucking delicious. See, don't sleep on it, bro. I know spice is not the native tongue of your people, but it's delicious, and when you put it into food, it makes food delicious.
Let me tell you something. Dirt seasons potatoes just dandy, okay?
Yeah, but then when you put some season, like you put a little salt, little pepper, maybe a little Old Bay, make some home fries for your egg. That shit's spicy and it's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's tasty.
That's some cumin, some paprika.
Some cumin. You put dare put maybe onions in it, like physical onions. You know.
I like flavorful food. I know I'm a pansy when it comes to I don't like brined up things. I don't like mustard. I don't like relish. I don't like pickles. Okay. I don't like mayonnaise. Hold on. There's a long list.
I was going to say, you've knocked off some pretty major ones. Yeah,
all the good stuff.
You knocked off 2 major condiments. So,
but those are like Americanized condiments. I mean, I don't feel like there's a lot of countries in the world. Like most countries don't use mayonnaise; they use yogurt. You know, like that's their. And so that's fair. I would like to go around the world, and I'd like to. That's one of my bucket list items. I'd like to go around the world and try street foods like everywhere I can. I just feel like Gordon Ramsay, that's authentic. That's the way it's supposed to be made, you know? Like, like I've always wanted to go get a cheesesteak in Philly, and for whatever reason, I never have, even though it's only less than an hour away.
Well, it is Philly, so
get yourself some dumplings up in Chinatown.
I've been to Philly multiple times and haven't gotten a cheesesteak, so I don't know what that means.
You gotta means you don't care.
Yeah,
probably.
Means you're not American.
Womp womp.
Man, so we've gotten into the sex scandal game pretty good here at the Middle Classholes. I don't know if you'd call this a sex scandal more as just a man who couldn't keep his hands off his pecker scandal. The New Yorker has suspended reporter Jeffrey, is it Toobin?
Yes.
For masturbating on a Zoom video chat between members of the New Yorker and WNYC Radio last week. Quote, I made an embarrassingly stupid mistake believing I was off camera. I apologize to my wife, family, friends, and coworkers. Toobin told the motherboard. I believed I was not visible on Zoom. I thought no one on the Zoom call could see me. I thought I had muted the Zoom video. So apparently the people from these two organizations were doing a simulated broadcast for the election. They don't really go into too much detail as to what exactly the back and forth was, but 2 separate people corroborated on the story during a break when they came back and saw Toobin with a lowered camera touching his pecker. Man, oh man, this dumbass got himself in some deep, deep goo-goo.
Yeah. As far as what they were doing, it's like they're timing out the broadcast. I think they had people like playing characters. You know,
someone was Biden, someone was Trump. Yeah.
But still, the fact that the camera was pointed at his dick seems rather suspect. I'm not saying that he thought he was still on that particular call, but I think that this is where my mind went to. So he's on the Zoom call and he's seeing himself. He's like, when this Zoom call is done, get a little me time. I want to see what this puppy looks like on camera. And then he didn't realize the camera was still on for everybody to see. And then it was just, I like the way that looks. Ooh, I like the way I look. Ooh, I like the way I look when I do this. And then everybody's just like, what's he doing? But my problem with everybody else is, why didn't someone give Homeboy a heads up?
Right. Before you comment, I do want to make it crystal clear that Alan is our political and reporter sex correspondent.
I'm our political sex scandal correspondent.
Yeah,
so
expert for the Middle Classholes.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta look at your dick on camera. I think that's really the gist of it. Is like Murr said, he got curious, and sometimes with a camera in hand, it's just wise to look at it. Just check it out, make sure everything's fine. Sometimes you can get up in the undercarriage. It's a place you probably can't look at too often.
What happened? Yeah. No, I don't think that's anywhere the webcam goes. If you catch my grundle on my Mac, then I have put myself in a precarious position.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying he's had the opportunity, and so he figured he'd explore.
The timing of it, when the mood strikes, do you go straight for it? Is his day so busy that he decided during a 15-minute interlude between work and pleasure that it was just time to whack it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these reporter folks are just horny, man.
I completely agree, and that's the first thing where my mind went. As opposed to, well, maybe not the first thing, but the second or third thing that my mind went to was, couldn't this prick give it 20 minutes, go and get a cup of coffee and do this in the bathroom or the bedroom or somewhere else, not in front of his fucking computer where a webcam was around? Even if Zoom shut down, webcam's off. I don't know, man. It's just even distancing yourself from things like that while you're doing that is peace of mind. And yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he had a hard on all day. It was just like, I can't wait for this fucker to end.
I'm trying to give him a little bit of leniency here and say that they're probably really busy right now. The media is probably really busy right now. Love or hate the media, like or dislike what they do and how they do it. It's a 24-hour cycle, and it's election season. They're probably really busy. There's probably not a lot of downtime in the day.
Okay.
But I think this goes back to what Alan said, though. You got a camera in front of you. I do feel like if let me just scroll this puppy down a little bit. And, there we go. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't take that much. Okay. All right. Those are some very tight sweatpats, Wesley.
Tight gray sweatpants, sir.
Sorry.
Wow. There, Mr. Toobin.
You saved that for the lady. That's not for us.
Sarah requests that I don't wear these outside the house.
Yeah, dude. So the girls love the gray sweatpants, but it's only for them. Yeah. Like, you can't. That's not for the public.
Personal question for everybody. Have they pointed the camera at the old cockle region and just to see what it looks like on camera?
This camera?
Any camera.
Are you asking if we've taken pictures of our dick, or just checked it out?
Just checked it out. Don't have to have actually snapped it for posterity's sake. Just hey, let's see what she looks like on the old digitizer.
I mean,
yeah.
Yep. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yes, and that's all. That's all I'm asking. Because I'll tell you what. One time
at band camp.
This is what I did. Because I just wanted to see, okay? Because, we live in the age of digital pornography, and it just is what it is. And just for comparison's sake, I'm like, I wonder what I would look like on a professional film set here. So, but because I'm so frightened and scared and paranoid, so I pulled up the camera feature on my phone. I turned off my Wi-Fi. I turned off my data on the phone. I turned everything off, so it was basically like a brick phone that was just acting as a thing in my hand. And I didn't hit record. I didn't snap a picture. I just kind of looked at it. And I was like, oh, hey. And I was impressed. I'm not going to lie. And I just said, okay, I see how people get in trouble because a lot of people don't take the necessary precautions that I took just to kind of get a glimpse of what I'm rocking with here.
Right.
They accidentally take it. It goes to the cloud. The cloud gets hacked. It gets online. And then all of a sudden you're this. But this guy should know everything he should know about hot mics and hot cameras. You have no excuse if you work in the media to accidentally get your dick on film.
Yeah. He fucked up.
No excuses. He's suspended. They didn't get into detail of the extent of his suspension. Just that he's suspended. My assumption is a week or two. He'll have to do some public apology, blah, blah, blah. And then, we'll see him on Election Day. And we'll see him on Erection Day.
In Chinatown.
That's right, in Chinatown. Taking you down to Chinatown, buddy.
But here's the thing, though. With this now out there, can he rise above this?
Sure. Yeah, this isn't some he wasn't. I point this back to the Louis C.K. clause, where I still don't think what he was doing was that bad. And I think this is a lower tier of that. Yeah, man, the guy. I mean, it's stupid, it's idiotic, but it wasn't reckless. He wasn't doing it to show off to other people. He thought he was doing it in the privacy of his own home. Unfortunately, he had the webcam on and the Zoom link still up. He was fucking pulling his pud.
That's fair, but
I do want to know if he finished or not.
It just seems like it's just like Mercer. I think it's just amateur hour. Like,
it is.
You got to be better than that.
Yeah, it's an old guy. What is he? He's in his 60s. It's a guy who doesn't understand technology quite as well as the rest of us do. But again, I feel like because of his profession, he should be wildly concerned about the functions and features of modern technology. I mean, how many hot mics have we heard over the last 10 years that we never would have got? I mean, I remember when NFL Films was in its infancy, like back in like the 90s and like late 80s. It's like it was you just felt like you were privy to something that you weren't supposed to be privy to when you got those little like mic'd up quarterbacks and things, and they had to put the bleep in there like, oh my God, Dan Marino says cuss words. That's amazing.
Do you know you'll never hear a better mic'd up than Phillip Rivers?
Oh yeah, because he doesn't cuss. He's just as straight laced as they come.
Oh, man, I watched like 10 minutes of it the other day, and I could not stop. He was like, "God dadgummit!"
Golly,
you are a grown ass man making millions of dollars. Dadgummit!
There's got to be some pot or some sort of like collective thing amongst his teammates to say, "I'm going to get that guy to cuss. I'm going to get that guy to say something."
No, dude, because he was fired up, and it's instinctual. It's instinctual now. Like he said, "Shoot!" instead of shit. Like it's like a fucking comedy bit. Like it's almost unbelievable.
It's sad that we find that so funny too, because in reality, he's really the best of us.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And we mock him for it because it's just like it's so out of the ordinary. It's so funny that the best of us is so few and far between that we just find it giggly and hilarious when they don't break.
That is true.
Yeah.
Speaking of the best of us, here in the great state of Maryland, known as the Free State, and I say that because last week I couldn't figure out what the state name for Alaska was. It's the Frontier State, the new Frontier State. Damn it.
Blew it.
It's one or the other. Here in Charlotte Hall. Wait, I don't know if it was Charlotte Hall. Somewhere on I think that's the Eastern Shore. Christ, it's the state I live in. I don't even know where the fuck this is. At 1:55 last week, this was dated October 16th, firefighters arrived at the scene of a DUI crash involving a Maryland State Police cruiser and a building. A Chevy pickup struck the police SUV first, then headed right into East Coast Investment Office building. At the point, the police apprehended the driver of the pickup, Dylan James Weber of Charlotte Hall, who just happened to be a quadriplegic amputee. Hall will be charged with driving while under the influence of alcohol, driving while impaired by alcohol, negligent driving, reckless driving, and failure to remain at the scene of an accident. How the hell he got that last charge is beyond me. But
he just rolled out, didn't he?
Jesus Christ! I get that amputees can drive. I mean, is this some sort of a well-manufactured, crafted car for a quadriplegic to be able to maneuver around? Okay, all right.
Yeah, they get like hand controls and shit.
But he doesn't have any hands, Alan. That's the point.
Come on.
Oh yeah, quadriplegic. I thought you said paraplegic. My bad.
It's all mouth controls, man.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he should be charged with a DUI. I just think he should not drive.
Yeah, that's
it's impressive that he was able to get up to enough speed to cause damage. It's impressive he was able to get in the vehicle at all. How'd he pull that off?
I mean, have you seen pictures of this at all?
No, have you?
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures right now. I mean, he's walking around in some mossy oak.
You got
do I got the share? Okay,
you got the share, baby.
He's got what appear to be some mossy oak gym shorts on. So, I mean, he was definitely coming from a classy establishment at the very least. So there's him standing on the ground behind this car.
It's definitely impaired right there.
And yeah. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then,
hey, well, you've got no arms and legs. How do you look sitting on the ground?
Well, I mean, I would assume he's used to it. So
scroll
I
back
think
down,
look a little more normal.
Or scroll up to where that doesn't even that smashed into the building. First of all, they made it look like some investment building. That's some shitty, fucking old house with shitty white siding that he kind of smashed into.
It's in Charlotte Hall, man. It's not. He didn't say he ran into the Legg Mason building. It's just fucking it's your local CPA. Like fucking.
Fair enough. Okay.
Now, and I know I might catch some heat for this, but I've always said, if you've got a handicap sticker on your car, like I'm very judgmental of your ability to operate the motor vehicle in the first place, because if some local municipality has deemed you incapable of operating your body, how capable are you of operating machinery? Seriously. So, I mean, how much did the alcohol come into play here when you're trying to, go around a turn with your left incisor? I don't see how. I don't know. I'm just impressed this guy's able to operate a vehicle in the first place.
First of all, just a correction. It's St. Mary's County. Okay. And second of all, there's certainly, I don't know. Maybe the state has some sort of odd criteria that they say, okay, if you can build it and you can operate this under the same parameters as someone who has arms and legs, then we'll give you a, we don't know. They certainly aren't going to do it just out of sympathy. Like, oh, you're a quadriplegic who can go in a straight line at 5 miles an hour. Here you go. Here's your license. Feel free to whip up and down I-95. I doubt that's the case.
I tend to disagree. I feel like we live in an era where we've decided that everybody's allowed to do everything, like be out of like pure sensitivity. Like, oh, well, we don't want to make them feel bad about they don't have their arms and their legs, so we should definitely let them drive a car.
Okay, let's play this. Just what you think, not hypothetical, but what you think happened. Okay, because let's take it back to when we got our license. Do you think the criteria leading up to you getting your license was deemed you worthy of having a license?
In our day,
yeah, the driving time, the classes, then the driver's test.
I think they gave us too much freedom. No, I don't know. I think they relied on the honor system a little too much, because I feel like when you got your permit, they expected you to go out and drive with somebody, and I did, and so I felt prepared based on that. I felt like the course was a decent enough kind of obstacle course to prove that I could perform all the miniature maneuvers. But I get why they didn't want us on the road. Like my parents, like their driver's course, and you see this even in old like 80s movies where, the classic haha moment is they can't drive, but they get to go out on the freeway and then they cause millions of dollars worth of damage and then never have to pay for it for some reason. But I mean, I felt like it was adequate enough to prove that I could perform maneuvers with the vehicle.
Alan, do you concur?
No. So, I mean, I got down the critical components. Like, I was like, all right, so I can back up and not fucking back this bitch into a building. I can parallel park. And that was it. I was like, highways were fucking dicey for the first like week. It was like, oh, okay. This is what we're doing. Got it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it's obviously not difficult. Like it's a feel thing. So The more you do it, obviously the better it is. But no, when I first went out and set out, they did not give me enough time. I think I did like two fucking like maybe 2 hour little sessions on some roads around my house. And that was it.
It brings the actual meaning of stay in your lane is where that comes from.
Yeah.
Now okay.
Also,
go ahead.
Hold on. So I didn't see. Do we know to the extent with which he was amputated? Like, did he have stumps? I didn't really see anything in there. Because from what I'm understanding, even quadruple amputees drive with their hands, with their stumps.
Okay.
So,
and I can totally see, if you're palming the wheel, I've slipped off the wheel, palming it every now and again. So I can imagine there's a little less grip space on the old.
So the picture that I see is that they have like little like cups that they shove their stumps into. And then like one of them does acceleration and braking and the other one does steering. But they have a co-pilot brake like in driver school just in case.
Yeah. So my question was, do you think that this gentleman did not pass or did not go through the same criteria that we went through, the same hurdles, if you will, to obtain his driver's license?
I think he did, but I think the person administering the driving portion of the test wasn't failing him.
Okay.
Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't an option. So he like did it, but did he?
And it's like once you get your license, it's like you're grandfathered in. Like, do they make him take the course again, or do they just say you need a modified vehicle, and then once you prove the vehicle's modified, like, yep, good to go, champ?
Well, wasn't he drunk? Was he drunk?
Yeah, he's loaded.
Yeah, so I think it's more like, all right, buddy, you gotta go to fucking alcohol class. Like, he still has to do the same thing regular folk do.
Unreal. Well, there it is. All right, coming from the era where we come from here at the Middle Classholes, we used to have to rent motherfucking movies. And that involved driving or having our parents drive us to a store that we used to have to sign up a membership for and pick out movies that we liked and then rent them for 3 to 5 days at a time. And if you didn't return those motherfucking movies, you were charged with some late fees, and therefore they could revoke your membership. One of those.
However, you lived in an era where there wasn't a deep-seated computer trail, so they really couldn't track you down, and so you didn't return the movies. You racked up late fees at a particular location, and then you just stopped going to that location, and because their computers didn't communicate, you just opened an account at a Blockbuster several miles away.
Yeah. That's right. Blockbuster was the first mega movie rental, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There were some smaller chains, but Blockbuster was the first, like, this is it, folks. You know your local chains that can't get all the R-rated movies out within 2 weeks after hitting the movies, we can.
They were the Walmart of movie rentals.
Yeah.
Like, we used to go down, we would rent movies from Craigtown Market because it was right down the street from us.
Okay.
We would occasionally rent movies from Sun Video and Rising Sun.
You didn't go to Battle Swamp?
Battle Swamp was so shady that eventually my dad stopped taking us in there. They had Battle Swamp, I believe.
Hold on, real quick, Alan. That's right. There was a place you could rent movies from called Battle Swamp.
Nice. Yeah. No, the other place that was local to me at the time in Arbutus was called Movie Time Video, and it was very cliche. It had like the curtain to the adult section. So yeah, like it was that place. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah. That was the thing with Battle Swamp, Wes, is that I think it was 50-50 Hollywood feature films and then 50% just smut.
That's the best word for it. Smut.
In the back beaded section, if you will.
Yeah, and that's actually the one of the few places that we used to go to in Havre Grace had a beaded curtain that the 18 and up crowd could go through and check out some adult entertainment, which Al Fox used to frequent every time we went in. So hey, you boys okay over there by the wrestling and cartoons? I'm gonna go over here for a couple.
Gotta check it out.
Yeah,
and that, you know what? And that's the way to handle it. Your dad's lack of shame always impressed me. His lack of superficial judgment from others was also another impressive feature of Alan Fox.
Yeah.
I can remember being at Sun Video and seeing one of my friend's dads come out of the beaded section and just noticing the shame on his face as we made eye contact, knowing that little paper chip in his hand had something to do with anal sex. But the reason we bring all this up is because there's a petition going on in Ontario, Canada. I'd have to look this up. The parent company of Blockbuster were they always based in Canada? Or is it just that because it's the frozen north and they're so far away that they had the last functioning Blockbuster? I'm not sure. But there's a petition to preserve the Blockbuster Ontario location and create a museum, a Blockbuster video museum, because apparently obviously they're all shutting down. There's no need for VHS rental stations anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I would visit it, quite frankly. Sign me up. How much are tickets?
But what's there to visit?
I just want to go through the motions. I want to I want to pick up like a fucking nerd's rope and then like ask them if they have fucking Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, but they're going to tell me they're all out. You know what I mean? They're gonna put up the giant like bin of tapes that have been dropped in the slot that are definitely not rewound, but haven't made their way back to boxes yet. And then I can sift through them and maybe rent one, but probably not. Right. I just want the whole experience.
Do you have anything with Brian Bosworth?
Yeah. Like I wanna ask my, like, prior to having purchased the PlayStation, I want to ask my mom if I can rent the PlayStation for like $50 a week and then a game for like $10.
Wow.
Yeah. I forgot,
you know what? Like, I want that whole thing. And then my mom would be like, no, fucking idiot. Get out of here. Yeah.
Well, the story reads, the petition originally posted to change.org roughly 4 months ago is calling for the Blockbuster to be made into a heritage site and turned into a museum. Quote, the site is of great importance to millions of people across the globe who grew up with this icon. Imagine getting to share the magic of Blockbuster with future generations by keeping this potential museum intact. The petition reads, started by Andrew Stewart. He says that the building could be used to provide tourism to the area. Wow. If you imagine how impoverished that little Canadian town is if you need tourism for a Blockbuster. Like, I know there's a Spam museum that I really want to visit.
I would go to that. I would go to that.
Just for the free samples.
Here's the thing.
Naturally.
Say I'm to procreate here and take my kid to Chinatown, in this case, Ontario, or wherever that... It just, okay, hypothetically, if one of these museums were I didn't have to travel to Ontario to be there. It just, there's a movie rental museum, X, not necessarily Blockbuster. I just don't necessarily think I want to...
Don't let the comfort...
Damn it!
Don't let the attention to detail lead you to believe that a Honda is a delicate machine.
Honda, delicate machine, you're out of your fucking mind. Honda.
There's always been the capacity to
get killed here.
We should definitely cut this and tweet it to Honda.
Shutting it all down. It's a damn... We'll get to that later. But I just don't necessarily feel that I need to take my child down a stroll down memory lane, if you will, to say, oh, this is how we used to entertain ourselves on Friday and Saturday nights as a family. We'd come here at 6:00 and the parents would let myself and my brother each rent one movie, and my parents would rent a movie that we didn't care about, and then when we got done watching that, then we would stay up and watch this one. I just don't feel like I could tell that in 30 seconds. I just think they would be... anyone that doesn't understand that you used to go to a store to have to purchase these things at a discounted price to have for your possession for half a week, that doesn't necessarily constitute as a museum, in my opinion.
No, I 100% agree with you. I don't know what else they put in there. I mean, if it becomes like the Blockbuster and official VCR museum, does that pump it up at all? I still don't think so. I mean, what else can you put in? What else? There's no draw for this. I can agree that the store, if it's the last one that's intact and still looks good, I mean, I guess I can see keeping it around for like movie purposes. For example, Captain Marvel was set in the 90s and they had to do a big shoot at a Blockbuster. But do we really need that with CGI? Like, do we really have to have a physical location with a Blockbuster sign? I mean,
no, you can create those with you don't need to preserve a fucking movie rental thing in order to, on the half-ass chance that you're going to make a movie set in a certain era. Christ, don't they still make movies from the late 1800s?
Yeah,
you don't preserve certain things in order to do that. You stage them, fake it.
I think this is a state of we're in a weird stage right now pretty much, in my opinion, all brick and mortar stores are going away. And I feel like we have this like compulsion inside of us that we have to preserve the things that we once knew and loved. Yeah. And I can remember like, okay, high school, like date night, like, hey, what do you want to do? You know, kids before Netflix and chill, it was Blockbuster and browse. You know, and I feel like that folks our age are gonna like feel like we've lost a part of our existence if all of these things cease to exist.
Yeah, but doesn't that happen with that? Oh, sorry, Alan, if you're gonna say something, I apologize.
No, you're good.
But doesn't that happen with every generation? Doesn't that happen with like the advancement of technology? Doesn't that happen with every set of 10 to 15 years of people that say I'm losing part of my childhood because things are getting taken over with advancement of technology? I'm sorry, I'm just not as sentimental as about things like that as most people.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly. I mean, you're right. It's definitely generational, but I think it's unique for us, like our generation, maybe the generation right before us, the generation right after us, because technology in that 30-year span jumped 100 times more than it did in the 100 years before it. You know what I mean? So like, we have literally gone through 7-8 different mediums of video since we were children. You know what I mean? Like Betamaxes, fucking laser discs, fucking VHSs, DVDs, like all of those have just immediately gone away.
Right. Well, maybe,
you know what I mean? So it's weird for us.
Maybe that's part of the reason of my sympathy being at an all-time low, because in my lifetime, I've watched 15 iterations of how entertainment has been brought to me. And I just don't, I know. Yeah. I loved going to the movie, movie rental joint, Movie King, Movie Max, movie what have you, movie bead store where dad used to go and look for XXX flicks. I don't know. I don't miss it. I don't look back at those like, man, I miss those times when we used to go and I'd rent WrestleMania 4 for the 15th time in a row.
Well, check this out, Wes. I mean, just showing you how fast things move. I mean, to Alan's point is that we've watched so many. I don't know who are you sponsored by now.
I think the U.S. Air Force, maybe.
We've watched so much stuff just get done and buried so quickly since the internet era began that I feel like there's some. I mean, Blockbuster was around for a good clip, and VHS was a good portion of our childhood moving into adulthood. My parents just bought a 2020 CRV, and they were like, "Oh, you should come check it out." So I went over, I checked it out, and was like, and I first thing I asked my dad was like, "Why do you have all your CDs in here?" "Oh, it's the first. Let's check this out." "Oh, it's the first vehicle I've owned that has a CD player in it." I'm like, "Well, guess what? It doesn't have a CD player." "Well, how do I listen to music?" "It's all MP3. It's all digital. Like you just plug in your phone or your MP3 player."
Bluetooth.
Yes. Like it actually, the most archaic feature of the stereo system is the fact that it gives you an aux port to plug in an MP3 player.
Yeah.
They don't like that's the thing is like our parents' generation's the last generation that had products and stores and things that lasted. And I think in a way, me being in my 40s, like that's still attached to me, that nostalgia factor. And so it's some twat about 45 who wants to hold on to his memory of Blockbuster, who started a change.com petition that unfortunately and fortunately gets around the globe. So, and you could gain this like sporadic, momentary interest in keeping a piece of real estate around that has no business existing in the modern era.
What's happened is we brought Blockbuster to our fucking house. That's it. We don't have to get up and drive to the store and have the kids fucking piss and moan about things.
I think the only viable option is if they make it a bed and breakfast.
There you go.
Well, no, sorry, a bed and dinner, and then I get to go in, rent a movie, retire to my fucking suite, and then presumably bone my wife or whatever I'm going to do.
That is actually a fantastic idea because I feel like you could get couples and they could, and just you could pretend a little bit here and you could have them go in and they could go in and browse for a movie.
Yeah.
and then they could take their little chip or their little like empty carton up to the counter and say, "We would like to rent this film."
Yeah,
and then
watch The Pelican Brief.
And then
you guys out of Jerry Maguire
or come Dumpsters 4.
You take it to the back room where they've set up like a plaid couch with a 13-inch TV.
There's pizza rolls in the oven,
stale popcorn, some hard candies, and then you guys just enjoy an evening a la 1992, and then maybe bang it out on the fold out sofa.
That's right. Boy, good luck with that back on that one. Yeah,
you have to find VCRs and imagine like not paying attention and you have to rewind shit. Like, oh god, it sounds awful.
No, you have to get up off and hit the rewind.
Yeah, because there's no shot that it was a VCR with a remote that could actually rewind.
No, it has AAA batteries. That one's dead. No one has a fucking replacement.
It's a fucking 9-volt. Just why? This isn't a smoke detector?
I just bought AA's. Nope,
triples.
Fuck.
And by the way, it could be run by Zachary Ty Bryant, who was just recently arrested for choking his significant other. So that could be his community service. Is he has to run the Blockbuster store and rent out old episodes of Home Improvement where he was not the star.
That's right. Firstborn, but number 3 son on the hit sitcom Home Improvement star Zachary Ty Bryant is out on bail following his arrest in Oregon on charges he choked his girlfriend during an argument. A report said Monday the 39-year-old actor, God, Jesus, if that trip down memory lane didn't make me feel fucking old, that does, who played Tim Allen's oldest boy, Brad Taylor. I probably couldn't have guessed that in some bar trivia. On the hit ABC sitcom, was released Saturday on $8,500 cash bail after spending the night in Lane County Jail, TMZ reported. So apparently him and his girlfriend got into a little bit of a tizzy, and he squeezed her throat with his hands during an argument in an apartment in Eugene on Friday night. I don't know, what's this guy living in fucking Eugene for? Didn't he make enough on syndication to not live in such a hippie, weed-infested town? Actually, I'm sorry. I take that back. Eugene's great. My brother says so. Cops were called to the apartment complex by neighbors. Arriving officers found Bryant sitting outside and his girlfriend hiding at a friend's apartment nearby, TMZ reported. The woman alleged that Bryant attempted to stop her from calling 911 by grabbing her phone before she was able to get away to her pal's place. He was arrested without incident and charged with strangulation, 4th-degree assault, interfering with making a report, according to the outlet. What the hell, man? Was it taking a trip down memory lane? Some of our number 15th favorite kids from our sitcom growing up are beating up on their fucking girlfriends. I do disown it. I don't condone that. I don't care what the problem is. We can make light on everything. Choking your significant other, girlfriend, wife, booty call, or whatever otherwise is, in my book. But this guy, what Christ, is this how he makes headlines now?
Well, I will say, as far as, being a quasi-star on Home Improvement, at least when he put his hands around her neck, he didn't add more power.
Yeah, oh, God. You've been thinking about that all day, haven't you?
Yeah, I really have. I'm sorry. The delivery was probably a little jumbled because I really had thought about it all day. But nobody knows who this guy is. It's sad.
All right, so I got 2 questions real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, do we have a mugshot?
Yes.
Because I sincerely hope his eyes are as bloodshot as I picture them to be.
Yeah, they are. They're bloodshot, and he just looks like fuck.
You asked question 2. I'll try to see if I can get.
Yeah, and then question 2 is just kind of general, because when I actually saw this pop up on our chat, I was like, "Huh." I was like, "Do you think they made him take a third name because of fucking Jonathan Taylor Thomas?" They were like, "Hey, look what it did for the fucking little blonde boy. Get on it. What's your middle name? Ty? That's fucking terrible, but use it."
It's probably Tyler or some shit.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
yeah, he's
God.
just like, fuck it, I'm done.
Look at that middle part. Fucking
One,
that guy was at Blockbuster fucking perusing the WWE videos before you got
That's
there.
what I'm saying. That's why he should run the Blockbuster Legacy Museum store. He looks the part. He's
With
from
that
the
haircut.
era. Everything fits just perfectly. I kind of like, I'm not condoning what he did, but I kind of feel bad for the guy because if you think about it, when you're the oldest brother on a television show, especially at the beginning, that means that you have been hired because you are in your cutest phase.
right.
So they hired you to be the
The patriarch of
the tiger. They hired you for the Tiger Beat cover. That's the only reason you got the job.
Yeah.
And then a young Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who they're like, he's a cute little kid, but you never know when he hits that awkward stage. And then JTT never hits the awkward stage. He hits the blossoming stage.
Yeah.
It just takes over the whole show. Remember they had that kid like basically like one IQ point away from retard. And then by the time he got to high school, he was like the genius of the family, just misunderstood because of his ADD.
yeah. And weirdly enough, Zachary Taylor Thomas was the oldest of all three of them.
Really? So he was
yeah.
just a small kid like me.
No, I said I'm getting confused with my three named people. God,
Jonathan
Taylor Thomas. Why do these white boys have just fucking cool names? Rumor has it now. I read this in another article. As he was doing this, or was arguing with his girlfriend Wilson, was like, "No, stop."
Bradley, what are you doing?
Hey, cut it out.
Your father didn't raise you like that.
Howdy, cellmate.
Nice.
In which case, and then Al Borland played a role. Well, I don't know. This guy will probably get some community service.
Yeah,
Some bullshit. Ugh.
They'll be like, your life already is terrible. It's fine.
Yes.
By the way, Tim Allen and I know you know his name. Kern, is that his name?
Are you talking about Al Borland?
Yeah.
I don't know his actual name. No, I don't.
I know him as Family Feud host.
They are teaming up.
Yeah, Richard Karn.
Richard Karn. They're teaming up, and they're actually going to do a reality show. I don't know if they're going to be playing the characters, but it's going to be the reality show, and they're going to challenge amateur inventors and woodworkers and such to come on and juice up their projects, a la Tim Allen on Home Improvement. That's going to be a fabulous fucking reality show that 45,000 people will watch on the History Channel.
Oh, it's on the History Channel? Oh.
I don't know. It sounds about right.
So it's wedged in between Storage Wars Las Vegas and Storage Wars fucking Albuquerque, so it should be good fucking watching.
And Forged in Fire, you fuckers. I get stuck on fucking just blocks of that show. Like every night after this show, after we get done recording, I go upstairs, it's on, and then I'm just drunk just watching guys just bang out metal.
It's either that or Ancient Aliens.
Bang out something.
Yeah. I'm always about hearing how the pyramids are spaceships, like from that guy with the fucking like
Giorgio, my friend, Giorgio with the hair. And by the way, that show wasn't supposed to be a series. It was like a 3-part like mini series, and then so many people watched it that they just watered it down because that fucker had me compelled when it first came on. And then I'm just like, okay, everything's aliens. Never mind.
Everything is aliens. They're like, fucking Shasta changed their ginger ale recipe. Could it be because aliens visited Libya in 3000 BC? I don't know. And then they just back off the camera.
The Mona Lisa doesn't have eyebrows. Why? Because she was an alien.
Because the aliens took them.
Ouija boards talk to dead people. You know why? Because only aliens could talk to dead people.
Because
John
Williams is a medium.
I had to, man.
There are some compelling arguments about human beings being manipulated by folks from the stars to be as intelligent as we are. It's either that or we ate mushrooms. One of the two. Maybe the aliens brought the mushrooms. Who knows?
Yo, I told you I've been diving into X-Files, and
Alan, you have a former professor who you said would join the show who believes all this shit.
I should hit him up.
Yeah, hit that motherfucker up.
It's the guy who that's the guy who taught the paranormal social psychology class that I talked to you about.
That's right. We'll give him some talking points and we'll go from there.
He is great. I believe he's a member of MUFON, so it's good.
Yeah, I'm down, man.
Yeah.
You have subject number one here, anti-skeptic, ready to fucking fight fire with fire.
Dude, you're not ready.
Probably not with a guy like that educated. Alan, this was for you, and we talked about this. You said that what's the Tim Allen thing going to air on?
I don't know what channel it's on.
Maybe it'll be PBS, but whatever.
A&E.
This is Christ, I can't believe we're getting into the goddamn holiday season already. But Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 classic, the animated pieces, the two dolls that they use, one to play Rudolph and one to play Santa, are being auctioned off. Auction House Profiles in History announced Thursday that the 6-inch tall Rudolph and the 11-inch tall Santa used to animate the 1964 TV special are sold together in the auction that starts November 13th and are expected to fetch between $150,000 and $250,000. Alan, if you thought you had a chance, I think that may have squandered those. Collector Peter Lutriaio of Staten Island, New York, thought he might be they might be the only items he would ever sell. But when he recently turned 65, he thought about having something to leave for his children and grandchildren. I don't know how that makes sense if he's going to auction these fucking things off. But
he's talking about the money.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about having an actual inheritance.
Yeah, instead of
So this
fucking 50-year-old felt fucking
dolls. So they go on. They give you a little rundown of the production company who produced these things. They are made of wood, wire, cloth, leather. Apparently, they're still malleable. They're still able to shoot around and make the direction that you want or do or be animated. This was based off of a 1939 song. Blah 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 blah. Alan, this is your story. This is something you and your family sit around. You probably go out to a local rental store that's still open and rent this fucking VHS and sit around with your Thomas Kincaid thing across your parents.
That's exactly correct.
And so
in matching full PJs, full flannel PJs, button up shirt.
Right.
None of that pullover shit.
And soak in the Yuletide cheer.
And then I dump whiskey on my face. But no, yes. So I don't. I think many people know that listen, but and I don't know if you know Mer, but my birthday is.
I'm the one that fucking sent the story specifically for you, there, champ. And I need to get to the bottom of your weird neurotic psychosis that you have with this. Yeah, sort of beloved children's flick that you get a boner
sort of
for.
Beloved? What are you, fucking communist?
You're willing to mortgage your house to buy these fucking.
I enjoy your McCarthyism there, Murr.
Yeah,
sort of
easy there.
Yeah, Tommy.
The fucking Red Storm over here. No, I'm a Christmas baby. I was born on Christmas. So I have just a general affinity to all things Christmas. But just so happens that this version of Rudolph, the old version of Rudolph, is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And the same with the wife. So yeah, we have a ton of shit. Basically the entire house is just Rudolph memorabilia around Christmas and Thomas Kincaid houses, because they're a must. If you don't have small ceramic snow dusted homes sitting on a small coffee table, are you really Christmasing? That's my question to the audience at large.
Well, I just have one question for you then. Have you found the tiny mouse hidden on each one of these sculptures?
What? No. Is that a thing? I don't know that my wife collects them. I just know that they're around.
Oh, yes. There's a tiny mouse. There's a tiny mouse tucked away on each Thomas Kincaid cottage.
With a tiny penis, too.
Oh, well, then perfect. I'm gonna dig them out tomorrow. But yes, I think the only way that this would be more appealing for me, because neither Rudolph nor Santa are my favorite characters from the film. So it's a meh. I would buy it if it was the only characters left, but I know somebody's got Yukon Cornelius tucked in a fucking basement somewhere, and I will fucking mortgage the house for that. Yeah, and you can fucking dislike it all you want, Murr, but he's amazing, and you know it. Don't hate.
I just don't understand people and collectibles. I don't understand people and collectibles, and I don't understand saltwater fish people.
No, that's fair. The second one I agree with.
Okay.
First one, I mean, I got two things behind me that look pretty collectible.
Yeah, you got Lando selling fucking Colt 45 and Han, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. I had to. But those are also shoes, and I'll wear them. But
exactly.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I get it. I don't do too much in the way of like I don't know, figurines or anything like that. Really, Christmas is the only time, and it's mostly Kelly. Like Kelly has legitimately the entire fucking cast of Rudolph. As like miniatures, so every single one of them.
So I think the answer is pretty obvious. But so if you had money,
there's too much at stake to take shortcuts.
Oh, who we got? Is this Cialis?
Listen,
Cialis.
This is the last time I get vetted with things from you guys. That Rudolph thing has fucked me up 3 times. I've muted everything, and somehow that ad thing just pushes through.
Have you been just like that? Have you been finding it difficult to stay up? Cialis.
Yeah.
We just start cutting these and start just tweeting them to fucking major companies.
This is an ED company.
You can close that fucker out now, Wes.
I did.
No, but Alan. So if you had the money, if you had $10 million in the bank,
oh yeah,
you could. It's done. It's a no-brainer.
Right.
Is it a no-brainer because you would hold on to them for a certain amount of time, like the old baseball cards, in order to resell them at a later date as a financial investment, or because you have this weird neurosis in your brain that wants you to hold on to these figurines forever?
I would probably hold on to them until I get to an age where I begin to think about my imminent death, and then I might sell them. A lot like this guy who is selling them now. So, like I said, if it was like Yukon, you give me fucking King Moonracer, the fucking lion on the Island of Misfit Toys, we're in business. You know what I mean? I'm not selling that. I'm fucking taking it to the grave. You fuck right off. Fucking, I don't care if Burl Ives fucking punches me in the face when I get to heaven. That's what we're. Also, if you give me the fucking snowman that Burl Ives voice, I'll buy that shit too. That's more important to me than Rudolph or Santa, quite frankly.
I thought maybe if you were rich and you collect all these things, then at your death you would burn them along with your body in a Viking thing. Like, burn all these bitches! Fuck y'all! Yeah.
And the master of Rudolph. Everything goes with me on Christmas Day.
So okay, well then I'll ask Wes this. Okay, Wes, is there anything that you would mortgage your house to own? Is there anything collectible? Because I have nothing. I am not nostalgic for any, like, one piece. I mean, if I had, like, fuck you money, there might be some things that I'd buy just so I could show them off like an asshole.
Okay, does it have to be... Okay, because I feel like we're getting into a 3 and out thing here. Does it have to be something like, boom, tangible, this, that? Because I was saying, like, if I could get a World Series ticket to an Orioles game to which they were going to win the World Series, and I knew it, hell yeah. I'd mortgage that bitch twice, and then I'd kill myself with booze.
I think there's a difference between spending an obscene amount of money to be at an event so that it can become a burned-in, fiery memory inside the synapses of your brain, versus having some wood and leather and felt nostalgic like figurine to, I don't know. I mean, Alan, what would you do with it if you bought it?
It would legitimately probably go into like a display case and fucking never touched. So it's like, dude, I'm with you because I don't like collectibles. Like, I'm a huge fucking video game nerd. Like, I should truly have a massive collection of wasted money, but I don't because I'm like, I can't buy Master Chief, a 12-inch Master Chief. It sounds ridiculous. It's fucking $500. But he does have an energy blade. Like, so it is a really tough, like, and my wife talks me off the ledge a lot. I'm like, yo, check this out. Gotta get, no, absolutely not. Why are you doing that? So I get it, but I would still fucking do it for certain things. Like,
yeah, because the ridiculous things I want to buy, I want to be able to use. This is bad. My mom got mad at me for this. My great grandfather had one of the first lighters, because I don't know if people are. There was a time where like Zippos didn't exist, and the first thing I did when she gave it to me was see if the cotton was still viable, filled it up with lighter fluid, put a new flint in there, and fired that fucker up. It's like, what are you doing? I was like, what? You gave it to me. It's a lighter. I use lighters.
I want to smoke some cigarettes. Come on.
Yeah, and I thought it would be really awesome to have an 1885 lighter fire up. And it was awesome. It had a great mechanism and everything like that. The only thing I would buy, I don't know, I might, if like the original flux capacitor was on sale and I had fuck you money, I might buy it and like put it on my wall and then also turn it on. So there was like almost like a neon bar light kind of deal. That's the only thing I can think of that I would ever buy.
That's what Merc calls romance. Hey,
goddamn right.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff I would have purchased. Like, there's a lot of video game shit that I have almost pulled the trigger on. But like, what am I gonna do with it?
Yeah, but if it's video game and you're playing it, I don't have an issue with that.
I buy video games, but then like, all right, like perfect example, like I fucking, I'll play fucking, I don't know, Skyrim. And I'm like, oh, somebody made a collectible figurine of fucking my playable character in fucking armor. That's amazing. I want that. But I don't want that because it's useless to me. I'll buy it and I'll look at it for a little bit and I'll be like, man, that's pretty cool. That was a waste of money.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%. Unless it's like an actual piece of armor you can wear out to the Blockbuster museum.
I would do that.
You roll into the Blockbuster in chainmail. Hello, everybody. I'm Bobcat Goldthwait. Here to rent movies.
Do you have the Pelican brief? That's right.
Do you have anything with the bod? All right, Alan, apparently your wife gave this to Sarah. This was a penisula, and conveniently put it back here thinking it would wind up in the backdrop, and it's just below the backdrop. And man, the craftsmanship of this is beautiful. Look at that thing. It's even got the little fangs on it and all.
Yeah. I knew about this.
You knew about this? Damn, man.
I was supposed to wait until you found it.
I saw it yesterday and I laughed about it and I was like, huh, they put that up there as a part of the backdrop, not thinking like maybe I should just like arc my camera up a little bit. And then of course during the interlude I'm getting beer. She's like, oh, did you see it? I was like, oh fuck, I saw it yesterday. Man, that is beautiful. Look at that thing.
So what? It's a vampire penis?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife found some lady on Etsy who makes these little like clay penises, but like decorates them seasonally. So you guys got a vampire one down on the little table that sits below our television. It has like there's a Frankenstein penis. There's multiple ghost penises, so there's like an army of ghosts. There's one with just pumpkins as balls. So yeah, just there's dicks on my living room table.
This by the way, impressive. Throwback here. The John Wayne Bobbitt porno was called Frankenpenis, and for those of the uninitiated, John Wayne Bobbitt's wife had cut his dick off and threw it. And it was found by a dog, and somehow they sewed that son of a bitch back on.
Yeah, and he starred in some pornos that probably can be found at that Blockbuster in Ontario.
Frankenpenis, that was the name. You missed it.
Well, no, he starred in a few. It wasn't just one.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
He was a multi-star.
Was he just soft serving broads?
I heard it wasn't good. I heard it was not.
Yeah, sure.
It wasn't a performance to brag about, but the name recognition was there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he got paid,
Asking for a friend. Is it any good?
It's a small price to pay for having your dick cut off. You get to star in some pornos.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a good side hustle. All
right, so Alan, you had a pre 3 and out question to ask middle class home men.
Well, yeah, we were just chat. I brought up the Pelican brief for no good reason for the last hour or two. And then I was looking up the cover of the Pelican Brief, and then realized, Julie Roberts is in it, as we said. And I asked this question because I find myself in the minority many times, is that I think Julie Roberts is not attractive. Like, I just don't see it. People people love her. She's a great actress. I've never gotten it. I figured I'd ask the question of you two guys. You know what I mean? Just because I was staring at her face on the cover of the Pelican Brief.
Wes, you want to tackle this first?
Well, I see. I think the not overwhelming, resounding answer is being yes. I think the answer is yes. Okay. Because I think what Julia Roberts really preserved is that girl next door thing, but in a hot level. Okay. And yes, you can get some images that aren't necessarily flattering. You can get some real non-makeup. I'm not super in shape for the big screen. Just a bad day thing where you're like, oh, Julia Roberts looks like shit, and you say, okay, yeah, I suppose. But then every now and then you can get some things like this, where she, and this. Okay. And this, and this.
You know what I think it really is just, and I feel like this is just like, I didn't mean this to be like, let's just talk shit about some female celebrity, but like, it just happened to pop up. But like, I think it's her nose. Maybe like, it's just something. There's something I can't get past there. And like, I'm not saying that she's like an ugly lady. I just, it's not for me. And I know she's a big actress that people find attractive. Figured I'd ask the question.
We all have our preferences.
Yeah. It's Renee Russo syndrome. Renee Russo, she got into acting a little bit late. She was very attractive, but you were like, is she so attractive I'd leave my wife for her? No. But she's attractive enough to hold your attention and believe the words, the intricate words coming out of her mouth. There's a lot of actresses that simply get hired, like the Megan Foxes of the world, and it's like, well, as soon as they start quoting algebra, you're like, fuck off. But as soon as Julia Roberts starts spouting off some sort of statute in the Pelican Brief, you're like, she's hot, and I'm going to look at her, and I believe the words she's saying. I think she knows those words, and I think she believes them and understands the definitions. So she's always been like that nice, like, in between. And you need that, and a good actress should just simply be that. Because not everybody is like a 9-10 on the Richter scale.
Yeah. No, and that's, I wasn't getting at that. There's just something about her, and I hadn't looked at Julia Roberts in a long time. I don't watch a lot of Julia Roberts films. But now that I've got to watch the Pelican Brief, it had to come up, and I just it reminded me again that I just find her unusual looking.
You don't apologize for people you find hideous, okay?
Yeah,
not hideous.
Not here. This is your safe zone, bro.
Just like,
yeah, man.
Renee Russo, I could see it. That's a good parallel. I can see that. Do I see Jake Taylor taking down Julia Roberts in my head? Not really. It's more Renee Russo.
I see him choking her because he said no.
Wow.
Terrible.
Sorry.
And that is the perfect segue to a little something we'd like to call 3 and Out. It's officially time for your 3 favorite questions of the week. And this week, as always, your 3 and Out is being brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. If you've ever had any kind of ailment between the knee and above the ankle, the Shin Splints Recovery Group is a place where like-minded folks with similar ailments can come together and discuss pathetic injuries that you'll get over eventually with, life. It's fine. So let's get to it. You're 3 and Out. Alan, I will ask you the first question. Would you rather vomit on your hero or have your hero vomit on you?
I tell you, so, I mean, it's got to be. It's probably better if I just vomit and get it out of the way, because when my hero vomits on me, I will proceed to vomit on them. So no matter how you cut this guy's throwing up.
I get your point here, but the onus is on them if they've initiated the vomiting. Like they're still there. You know what I mean? Like the embarrassment still lies in their corner and less on yours.
So I think I'm still the jackwagon. He's famous. I'm not. I'm still the jackwagon that threw up on this guy. Like, even though he threw up on me first, you know what I mean? It does. Like, I still think I get the shit end of the stick. So I'll just start it. Fuck it, because I don't want to get vomited on.
So you're saving. You know what? I can see you're kind of saving your hero the embarrassment by vomiting on them first, almost like continuing to keep them in that hero state.
Yeah, right. I mean, and I'm sure, like, if he vomited on me and then I vomited on him, and we'd probably like go to the gift shop and buy some shirts and then like take a picture together. I guess that'd be cool, but not really. I mean, is that worth it? I think we should just treat this transactionally, and I'll just throw up on you and we get out of here.
I would like to say here that even in the wake of meeting his hero, he did not vomit.
I did not vomit.
That's Alan Shearer right there, Newcastle star, and great. And Alan just went woo. So I think he supersedes this question just a touch. Just going to let you know that.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I didn't vomit on my hero on one of them.
And I gotta be honest with you. I don't know who that man is.
He's a soccer player. Okay. That's basically it. No, he's the all-time leading goal scorer in the Premier League, or the top flight of English football. Newcastle guy.
How did you feel in that moment? Out of curiosity.
I mean, they made me into a meme. So
what's that?
I said they made me into a meme. Like, the Premier League turned me into a meme, and then tweeted it. So wow. I could show you. We have to dig it up, but I will show you at some point in time. But basically, it's just a progression of my face going. Like, just losing my mind. I think the caption that the PL even uses is like, when you lose your mind meeting your hero or something like that. And it is just 4 pictures of my face, like gradually stepping up to mayhem.
See if I can actually get this.
Wow!
Play the video. Yeah, that's so it's just that. It's like that right there.
That's awesome, Alan. I'm excited for you. That's amazing.
Yeah, you should watch the video. It's funny. So we were in London for a game last year before Bergen's wedding, and we were in the away section at Tottenham, and we're cheering, and we just scored this goal, and this guy like keeps looking back at me, and Kelly keeps looking back, and he's like, "Hey man, aren't you that guy that met Alan Shearer?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I am! You fucking know me! Yeah!" We were so hyped.
You are meme famous. That's amazing.
Right? Internationally, too.
So you would rather initially puke on that guy than have him puke on you first?
Yeah, I definitely don't want him to be embarrassed. So that's fine. I'll take that.
Wow.
I'll take that L.
That is true heroship right there. That's true worship.
Plus, he's a good guy, so like he'll probably still hook me up. Actually, who am I kidding? I met the guy. He signed a jersey. Like I have what I need. But yes, I think I would still probably want to go with the vomit, because then it's the embarrassment of like getting vomited on and then like not even being able to control myself. Like, you know, like it's just fucking messy at that, and I'm trying to hold it in, so like tears are coming. Like, yeah, I think it's worse that way. Yeah.
And imagine if your hero was Lionel Messi. God, it's opens
super
the door
messy.
To...
We said so many soccer names that Burr was like, "What?"
I just got it. Ew. Messi. All right, Wes. Same question to you. Would you rather vomit on your hero or have your hero vomit on you?
This is a tough act to follow because of the screen sharing that we just did, and Alan had experienced such a magical thing. Here's what I'm going to go with this, is that I feel as if I were to vomit on my hero, and even in the best case scenario, they're even to chalk it up like, oh man, it's just an over anxious fan who couldn't control himself. And boy, and that's it. That person wants nothing more to do with me. If my hero pukes on me and I'm able to weather the storm and I'm able to get over it and not puke and hold my cool and be collective and accept it and be like, oh man, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? I kind of feel like that person owes me a solid for the rest of his life or her life, whoever my hero is. I feel like the puke on me. Then I got the end.
No, I agree. I feel like best friend status is just around the corner, depending on how you handle it. Like, hey, man, can I buy you dinner or something? And like, as a matter of fact, you can.
You throw a camera. Get the fuck out of here. You never seen anyone puke before? Get out of here.
You had a rough night. Fuck you. Yeah. No, you stand up for them. You save them the embarrassment. You take it like a champ. You're like, people are people. I've puked before. You never puked before. And then you turn it on the media who's trying to like chastise your hero, and you stick up for your hero. And all of a sudden, you and your hero are throwing horseshoes out in the back porch of a nice, delightful sandbar that he's taking you to out in Key West. That's the way I'm looking at it. And I can remember a time where I actually embarrassed myself in front of my hero. I was at a WWF event, and it was just after Bret Hart had turned, and he was walking away, and I said, "Fuck you, Bret Hart!" And he turned around, and he stared at me, and I instantly started to apologize.
Bret Hart was your hero?
Yeah. Bret Hart was my hero. Between the ages of, I'd say between 1994 and the early 2000s, Bret Hart was my hero because he was just post Hulk Hogan. Okay, he wasn't like, as they described him, he wasn't the dinosaur wrestler. He was like the little guy who had to earn it with. He had to be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we're at this event, and I talk shit to him, and he turns around and he just glares at me, and I instantly felt like how small and little I was in front of the man. And I just could imagine, like, in that situation, I was the one puking, and he was the one turning around disappointed at me. I wouldn't want him to be that.
Yeah.
So I'd want him to be able to puke at me, and then me to be able to say, "Hey, man, it's cool. It happens to everyone. You're just human, but you're better."
That was the best puke there ever was, there ever will, and there ever will be. I don't even know the damn thing. Grace, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm fucking it up.
You know, what sucks to us is, like, the more I'm thinking about this, I don't even know who my actual hero is now. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, besides, like, family or anything like that, I don't know who my hero is. I don't think I have a hero. Maybe, like, Norm Macdonald. He might be my hero, like a stand-up comedian. But I don't have a hero. I feel like I'm sad now.
See, I feel like
Alan has something I don't.
If Cal Ripken had puked on me, I'd have been like, "Oh man, I'm gonna keep these jeans."
But I don't think Cal would handle it properly. You know what I mean? I feel like here's the problem is that at one point in life I might have said Cal Ripken was a hero of mine, but the longer he's gotten away from the game of baseball and like the interviews I've seen, like he's just kind of a callous dick.
It's turning very, very weird for me to understand that the person who I grew up not I won't say idolizing, but the person I grew up looking up to as a baseball player and a baseball fan, to have like him, to understand from people who aren't too far removed from him, be like, yeah, that guy's a dick. Fuck.
I know, and because I'm an adult now, I understand, like, to be that successful, you kind of have to be a dick.
Be a dick. Yeah, we talked about it. Oh, unless you're Alan Shearer, according to Alan.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was during playing days, he was a right prick, but he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy, actually. So, kudos.
Yeah. Rumor has it you almost ball tapped him. Like, hey.
He would have fucking knocked me out so quick. He's a hard ass fucking Geordie boy, dude. He would absolutely have crushed me.
But that would have been a meme that I saw.
Yes.
May have puked on you as a result.
All right, question number 2. Wes, would you rather always have BO and not know it, or always smell BO on everyone else?
So have BO myself and be completely oblivious and ignorant to the fact that I have BO and putz around all Bobcat Goldthwait like amongst the crowd, or smell BO. And is there company strings attached with them not knowing it?
Correct. Okay, so it's basically the reverse. Like, the whole world has BO and they don't realize it, but you smell every individual, like Wolverine being able to pick out each person based on their funk.
Yeah.
Or you're the one with the funk and everyone smells it but you.
You're the one with the funk and everyone smells it but you. And the fun comes from every person, correct? Every single person.
This isn't that confusing, Wesley.
No, I get it, but you're like, there's people who don't have BO.
No, but no matter how insignificant their BO is,
yeah,
you're like a master smeller.
Super sensitive. Yeah, God. Basically, this question boils down to a baseline of selfishness versus like humanitarian. Like, all right, do I want to have BO and let everyone smell it and walk around and parade around like, hey, I'm so happy and so stinky, or like, oh God, all right, I don't want to do that. You know what, man? I don't give a fuck. I'm going with me stinking and everyone smelling it and me being oblivious to it because I'm not a bad person.
Well,
I'll make good decisions otherwise.
So you're going with you smell and you don't know it.
Why would I want to smell other people's stuff?
Because they're going to judge you.
Well, does my BO perhaps like do I lose friends on account of it?
Well, I mean, you're not exactly pleasant to be around. Ever. You're talked about behind your back everywhere you go. Hey,
even with this hypersensitive nose, can I like jam it with
No, it's going to be no matter what. Cotton balls doesn't matter. You're going to smell their BO. You're going to be you're actually going to name people based on their odor versus what their actual name is.
This is like the dandruff or perpetual chap lips thing that you hit me up with like 6 weeks ago. That both of these suck. You know what? I don't want to smell BO all day. Fuck it. They can smell my stuff and I'm oblivious to it. That's it. I don't want to. I don't want to whiff that stuff. I don't want it to fuck with my appetite. I don't want it to screw around with my psyche. Fuck that.
Okay, I'll judge you momentarily, Alan.
Yeah. I think I'm with him. I think I could get over like I could still win people over. Like people would still be like, oh, God, fuck, he stinks, but he's fucking cool. You know, he's good at work. He's good at his job. Like, so I think I could overcome. Like, I would.
But that's the thing, though. You don't realize that you're the one that stinks.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's what I mean. So, like, but I ultimately would realize it because people are going to react to you.
That's what I was going to ask. Can you ever be convinced that you stink? Are you always kind of like from day one and henceforth like I don't know, I don't.
Well, you say that, Wes, but I've brought up plenty of compelling arguments about the netherworld and Bigfoot and such, and you just like nah, doesn't happen, doesn't exist, and then it's like, hey, Wes, you smell like a cheap bag of Funyuns. And you're like, nope, don't smell it, doesn't exist. I smell great. I smell like Axe body spray.
We're not having this discussion right now, right?
Okay.
We're not doing that.
But Alan, so you're still going with you're the one with BO.
Yeah, because I think Wes is right. Like, I don't want to smell it all the time. Like, I don't want that to interrupt meals. It's just it's BO is like one of them things that kind of lingers with you too. Like, it's not like you just kind of walk away and that clears up, that kind of hangs in your nostrils. You know what I mean? So like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stink it up and just be like, sorry guys, fuck it.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm going with everybody else because it gives me a position of power. I am Captain Judgment. I will judge you, and if you try to come at me, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you're the one that smells like a rotted fish just farted on the shower water that you bathed in right now. So I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody knows that you stink. It's just like, okay, here's my analogy. Somebody steps in dog shit, and it's like, what the fuck is that smell? And how much shame does that person feel when they finally look at the bottom of their foot and there's a fucking squished turd on the bottom of their Nikes? It's not even their fault. It was dumb luck. It was random, but you shamed them and fuck them. And so if I'm the guy who now knowingly has that fucking fresh Rottweiler turd on the bottom of my shoe, it lessens me. Anything that I say from henceforth is going to be taken less seriously. I'm going to be taken less seriously. I'm going to be looked down upon in some capacity. So I don't want to know that people are, for a reason that is uncontrollable to me, I don't want to be put in that position. I want to be able to point my finger at them. And I think psychologically it propels you above them, whether it's true or not. You feel like you're better than them because you don't smell like them.
Okay. So my question to you is, and my hypothetical is, how do you propose that you'll be attracted to a woman if you can just smell everybody's BO, woman or otherwise?
Oh, if you love somebody, you love their scent.
Yeah, I know. Now I know you're lying. That's fine. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
You love their stank. You want it all over you. You want that funkiness in your nostrils.
Yeah.
It was like in Anchorman, we say, hey, miss you, Ron. Miss your musk.
100%. All right. And finally, on to your last 3 and out question. This was a part of our 3 and out sneak peek.
Oh.
And I got to tell you, friends, this might be the coup de grace. I don't think I can do fake animal questions beyond this because these are the heroes of the bunch. Now, I had the grizzly crocodile saved on my phone for quite some time, and I could not find a competitor. And then just yesterday, I ran across this. It's a who wins question. It's the Leorilla versus, oh man, that screen share just messed me up. It's the, where'd it go? It's the Leorilla versus the Grizzadile. Now, the Leorilla is a gorilla with the head of a lion, and the Grizzadile is a grizzly bear with the head and back and tail of a crocodile. Now, these are two just, if you want to talk about alpha apex predators, it doesn't get any better than this here. So you've got the Grizzadile, and Alan, I just got to ask you, which do you have here? What are you taking? Are you taking the Grizzadile or are you taking the Leorilla here?
I'd first like to point out before he threw this to, he's like, you got the Grizzadile, and that's all I can say about that. Alan, what do you got?
What happened was when you did the screen share, it changed my screen on my computer, so I lost what I was looking at. So I lost my train of thought. And I was trying to fucking make up for it, Wes, so fuck you. Thank you.
Alan, when you got the Grizzadile and you got the Leorilla.
So look, the eye test, it's the Grizzadile for me. Mm-hmm. But as I start to kind of break it down, I get a little worried about the Grizzadile. Now, not that it's not a clearly apex fucking predator. Like, you've somehow made a crocodile and a grizzly bear both more fucking intimidating. I don't know that you necessarily made the fucking silverback gorilla more intimidating. You definitely made the lion more intimidating.
Okay, before we continue, I just want to say that I feel like what's happened with the Grizzadile is that you have freed the crocodile. You have given him like the body that he always dreamed of. Man, if I didn't have these pussified legs that only let me like flap a wasp around the ground.
Right.
Like I've got some hurdling legs now.
Yeah, you mean something that's made him and his family of species live for millions of years. Yeah. Yeah. He's always dreamed of having a grizzly bear body. Okay, fair enough. Go on.
I just say, I mean, he's probably not wrong. Like, you know, did a wildebeest slip out of its fucking jaws one time? Yeah, it was pretty pissed off. You know what it couldn't do? Chase it.
Yeah.
So he's probably super stoked about this. He can also climb trees now, which is a whole fucking different dimension of fucking animal attack. But I digress. It is an intimidating being, but I still think that I'm gonna edge out the Leorilla, whose name I do not like. But that's okay because I don't know what else to call
You try wedging a lion and a gorilla together.
Yeah, I was already running it through. And I got nothing.
So, lion?
But here's my kicker. The gorilla has hands. Or does it not? It still has gorilla hands, it seems. Looking at this picture, it looks like a silverback gorilla with a fucking alligator or with a lion head.
It's the best I could do to wedge the picture together. Yeah, so yes, it's full gorilla.
No, perfectly fine. So it's got hands. And I'm always going to take hands fucking the use of tools. This gorilla gets a piece of fucking those jaws and just rips them open. We're done. We're done here. Everybody, we're going home. And like, you haven't really handicapped it. I venture to say that the fucking fangs on a male silverback gorilla are roughly the size of fangs on a fucking male lion. Like, I think they're dead even, but one has hands and one does not. And that's going to always kind of be the kicker, humans and shit.
Okay. All right. I like your answer. I have a different rationale, but Wes,
fair.
Who you got here? And since I did give a very detailed description of the what the fuck did I call it? The grizzadile. The Leorilla. Now, again, the body, I feel like the lion itself has also been freed here. It's got the head of a lion, and a lion has always been it's never been able to be a bipedal animal. And all of a sudden it can stand up tall. And now it's got those hands. Yes, it doesn't have the claws. It's still got the bite strength, and it's got the instinct of a lion with by the way, I looked this up. A gorilla could bench press between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds, depending on its weight, because its strength to weight ratio is directly related. So somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds worth of strength. And just as a visual on that is 50. Is it 50? It's 50 45-pound plates, so 25 on each side. Imagine that.
The bar is broken in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting kicked out of Planet Fitness. Bar none.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he's not grunting.
So, here's okay. If you break these animals, in my opinion, if you break these animals down into their original state, if you will, okay, lion, silverback gorilla, crocodile, grizzly bear. Assuming that no one is in deep bodies of water, which of course the crocodile automatically has the upper hand. I think the silverback gorilla is the apex of all those. They're the strongest, fastest, etc., etc. The thing that really, really scares me about that is that you're putting the brain, which if I'm reading this correctly or looking at this correctly, the lion, you've now taken the primate brain or the subhuman brain out of this and have inserted a lion. And the lions aren't stupid, but I don't think they're nearly as smart as silverback gorillas. And damn it, you got the tail on that, and you got the bite of the crocodile. Ah, man, I just say I'm going to give what's it, the croca-bear, the croca-hoo-hoo,
the grizzadile.
Grizzadile. I think the tail whipping around, if it gets around it, wins it. Swipes it, bites, bam. That sucks. And I think if you just do it a straight silverback gorilla, I think it beats the fucking crocodile, croca-bear, or whatever the fuck it is. Damn it, I don't know, man. I'm gonna get some shitty feedback on this because I'm overthinking this, because I think silverback gorillas are fucking phenomenal. But
no, I agree. I just feel like when you've blended the hunting instincts of the lion with the silverback gorilla, because from what I understand, like, gorillas are actually rather docile creatures unless threatened. Lions, on the other hand, are looking for a fight. So like that kind of snap, that difference in instinct is like, okay, the hunter-killer is in the lion, whereas the hunter-gatherer is in the silverback gorilla. Now, I'm not going to say for a second here that the grizzadile is not a ferocious beast, but then I'm looking at the brain, and I'm thinking that, like, grizzadile, it's got the brain of the crocodile, so it's single-minded. It's only looking to kill, attack. Whereas I think the lion understands how to, like, maybe hang back just a hair if it has to, and yet it's got the body to strategize, and so it can kind of like hang back and then attack when necessary. So I just feel like the intelligence of the lion and the body of the gorilla is what propels the Leorilla which is a shitty name, Alan. You're right. It propels it to victory. But going to some of the comments here on Facebook, Stan says both have excellent biting power and mobility. I feel like the bear claws, the weight advantage, as well as some of the armor from the crocodile tip the scales in favor of the Grizzodile. Eli says that the Grizzodile, overall the speed and jaw power, it's just got the extra advantage there. Larry says it'd be a good fight, but I think the Gator Bear, he's got the speed and the nasty bite.
That's the American version?
Yeah.
Gator Bear.
The Lyrilla could also have a nasty bite, but could bite repeatedly faster and stronger. I don't understand where Larry's going with that, but he's just basically going with an even fight. And Paul says that the Lyrilla would sure win this one. I'd say that the croc would be funny and its mouth would get caught on something. Maybe. But if the I guess the bottom line is the Lyrilla understands they could hold the jaw shut on the Grizzodile.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I can't remember the fucking names. If it knows it can hold the jaw shut, then it's really only got the claws, and I feel like it's an equal match there. And then, yeah, the Lyrilla wins the fight. I just think those are two fucking husky power hitters right there.
That's an intimate, like, I'd be almost like nervous to watch it, even though I was in a safe place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that seems like quite the show.
I feel like we need to get a botanist or someone from the local zoo to comment on this.
I think we need like a compromised Chinese geneticist to fucking come up with these two motherfuckers.
I was gonna say,
right.
Yes. We need somebody with loose morals and a high degree of genetic knowledge.
Straight from Chinatown, where you told your kid you're going to take him to.
That's right. I'd like to buy one of these fuckers. No, like I've been holding on to the grizzly crocodile one for quite some time because I could not find another animal mashup that was anywhere close to being able to take him on. I've got one more in my wheelhouse, but no, it was pure death no matter which way you cut it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can think of too many other mixtures that would can kind of keep up with either of those.
But I do want to attack you on something there, Wes. So I know that a crocodile, I know that a crocodile is basically like the perfect animal, but you can't tell me that if you gave a crocodile a fucking grizzly fucking mobility any which way, that it wouldn't be a more ferocious creature. I know they've been around for millions of years, but imagine now that motherfucker can run on land.
If you recall, if you were listening, I said I think I gave it the nod. I gave it the nod over the Lyrilla.
Yeah, I know you gave it the nod over that one individual fight, but not over the millennia.
All right, put it up against a fucking rhino elephant, motherfucker.
Ooh. I do have a rhino chicken in my wheelhouse.
Rhino chicken? I don't even know how you mix a rhino elephant. That sounds difficult.
All right, fine. It'll be rhino chicken versus grizzly moose next round.
Fucking grizzly moose.
If this stuff somehow gets buried in another world of blockbuster folklore, 100 years from now in some lockbox, and people I want to know what people talked about in 2020. God damn it, we're fucked.
I hope so. I hope in the future people go rent fucking the podcast videos from the 2020. They go into a brick and mortar store in like 2138, and they walk in, and there's the Middle Classholes VHS, just fucking empty shell, fucking sold out.
Oh,
I'll be beaming with pride, my friends, and I'll be puking on all comers.
Hero or otherwise.
We'll be there doing signings because it's the only thing we have left to do.
It's like Futurama, just our heads though.
Just our heads in jars.
The nubs from the drunk driver to sign it. All right, where can we find us, folks?
Oh, we're at Middle Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. Or sorry, at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. They hate us. They don't like us spelling things out, and that's why I always have to remember that. But we are the Middle Classholes on everything that you listen to us on. That's Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes. What else are we on? Something? Did I miss something? I think that's it.
God damn it, Alan. Every fucking week.
I know. It's only like 4 of them, and that's it. I always fucking forget. But yeah, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to keep a very tenuous grasp on anything that we're doing.
That's right. He's our sex correspondent, okay? He's not a goddamn social media
I am your national social media marketing correspondent, and I don't know, Snapchat.
We don't have Snapchat. We don't have
Snapchat. So don't look us up. Also, that's weird. You probably just want to send us dick pics, and we don't want them. So
speak for yourself.
So Snapchat.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Peace out.